morning, good evening, and good afternoon to all the geeks out there, and all the geekdom, and welcome to another Our Little Geekdom podcast, episode number 16, I think? 15. Yeah, you can see I'm counting too far forward. But yes, episode 15 of the Geek-Inspired, Our Little Geekdom.
And we're back to making mistakes.
What's wrong with making mistakes? What's wrong with making mistakes?
We had such a good
know
run.
What? If this was scripted, we'd be as boring as, well, CNN.
Why am I smiling? No one can see me.
Yeah, I don't know why she's smiling. No one can see her. She's dead on camera at the moment. There's a reason why she looks like crap, so we're trying to keep her from being on camera today. You'll probably see her on the 7 Days to Die video when that comes up, but not right now.
No,
but anyway.
Right now I look like David, so.
She does, yes. I'm sorry, I've got cat hair in my nose. It refuses to go away. More importantly, we do have our other guest for today. His name is Moomba.
What?
Yes, Moomba. He is a content creator like ourselves, but he's also a cosplayer. He does some playing of the causes, which is quite cool because you see some of the stuff he does. Kez actually knows more about the characters that he plays. He knows that I'm not very good with cosplay characters. So introduce yourself, Moomba. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, hello to everyone out there in the virtual space. I am Moomba, or Moombas, or Moombasa, whichever one pops into people's minds and mouths first. So I am a South African that is getting back into the content creation, and I am, as said, I am also a cosplayer. So I'm pretty sure, as what Kez is busy saying, it she doesn't know why she's smiling, is that I've actually got my avatar, my vrchat avatar, actually up, and it's busy talking to Kez and Kip. So I'm pretty sure that's why Kez is smiling.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, she's looking at the moving avatar.
Sir Ottersworth,
Sir
I think is what you said.
Yes.
Yeah, correct. Sir Ottersworth.
It's not nice having cat hair in your nose. So the content creation thing. I mean, that must be quite an interesting thing. You were saying earlier before you actually came on camera about the jokes that you'd actually, or the fact that you'd have to fill in on whose stream do you fill in on?
It's sometimes on Cyanide stream. He's also
Cyanide stream.
he's also a local content creator. He is also a VTuber. And yeah, it's just sometimes when I'm in the same world as him. Of course, I do respect when he's talking to his chat and everything. And when he goes to get a drink or he needs to go to the bathroom, he literally says, "Okay, Moomba, take over, entertain chat." And I basically stand right in front of his camera, in front of about 60 to 80 plus people, and I kind of look awkwardly at the camera, and I sort of go sad. I'm like, but I don't know what to do. Then I kind of look around, then I start making up stories. And that's now become a staple, story time with Moomba.
Story time with Moomba. who doesn't like a story time like that? What kinds of stories do you tell?
Tell us one of your stories.
I can't actually remember any of my stories because each time a story is different. So it's actually a story that I just randomly make up on the time. So I think it was the last one I did was because Saya was playing a horror game at the time, so I jumped in after that. And I was basically telling like a spooky story. So I'm like, yeah, at night, it is 12 o'clock, and Cyanide lies there in his bed, staring at his ceiling. He can't fall asleep. He doesn't know why, but he looks at the ceiling, and his mind starts to play tricks on him. He hears something. He thinks to himself, is it his mind? Or is it actually something? He hears it again, and now he's looking very confused at the ceiling, and he's like, no, it has to be my mind. And he hears it again, the same sound, but now closer. He then starts to feel his heart pound, Then he jumps up and he goes and he looks, and he sees nothing. He goes into the lounge. He sees nothing. He comes back to his bed. Everything's fine. Then he goes back to bed and he hears the same noise, but now this time it's outside his door. He doesn't know what's happening. Then he hears a creak. And it's not a normal creak of his door, but a creak of his floorboards in his room. Now he's just staring up. He doesn't want to look because he doesn't know what tricks his mind is going to play. The creaks get louder, get closer. Now his heart is starting to pound a lot faster and harder. Then he hears a sound right beside his bed. He slowly turns around with his eyes closed. He looks in the direction, he opens it, he sees nothing. Now he's very confused. Now what he does is that he now wants to see what's on the floor, but of course his mind is busy warning him, giving off those warning lights. He leans up, he looks down. He doesn't see nothing, but he sees Sir Ottersworth's top hat. Then he wonders, how did that get there? He looks around. He then jumps up. As soon as his feet hits the ground, he hears Sir Ottersworth's sound. Oh! Very quickly, he jumps back into bed and tries to ignore it. And then that's when Cyanide came back.
Story ended abruptly.
That's a really interesting story.
Yeah, there was not supposed to be silence there, but Kez was supposed to speak.
I am speaking.
Yeah, she's speaking. She says.
What, can't you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Just make sure that you have your person talking.
I'm pushing the button.
Anyway. Yeah, so tell us a little bit about the cosplays that you've been doing. I mean, obviously lately there's obviously been like nothing to do with cosplay with because, well.
Well, that's no reason for cosplayers. They can still make stuff because.
But yes,
Well,
that's what I was going to say. So
yeah.
since you can still just make stuff because you can make stuff, tell us, is there anything that you've been working on?
Well, of course, with every person, I 3D printed a Mandalorian helmet from the TV show, The Mandalorian.
Oh yeah?
But I've actually been working a lot on 3D printing a lot of the accessories for VR because we're getting more and more people in South Africa that are getting into the whole VR scene. So they're all getting the entry-level VR, which is now the Quest 2, which is very, very well priced, and you can do so much with it. So I've actually finished ordering a few things from Amazon, where it's actually rare earth magnet and special metal pipes, so that I could actually build a sort of like a rifle stock for the first person shooters in VR, just to create that immersion.
Okay. You
He
should
makes
recognize
he
this.
makes things like that as well.
Yeah, so
Pretty cool. Sunlight
so
reflection.
that's a lithophane, is what it is. So it's
Okay.
basically taking a 2D picture, converting it into a 3D image, but then changing it from a positive to a negative, and basically the thickness of the plastic creates the shadow, creates the detail. And as what Kif and Kez knows, these are amazing gifts to actually do
Yeah.
and give to people. It's just you can immortalize that point of time, that amazing experience. Like I've got quite a few. I've actually got one for one of my friends, Shelby, that I've actually kept here since last year because COVID hit, so I couldn't actually go see her yet. So
Yeah. No, that's epic. I mean, this year, I even remember where where this image is. This is at Comic-Con Africa. I think the second one at Calico.
Yeah.
Before we left, actually. So I remember that as the image. And yeah, no, that was actually shortly after I quit smoking too. so I was well, the image is not me angry, but you can see during the Comic Cons I was stressed. Yeah.
No, that's why I wanted to take a photo and do that leather thing. It's just so that you can go back to that, because I think we were in between the two main buildings.
Yeah.
Where the main event was, as well as the gaming event in a little open area.
Yeah, where the tent was, where the beer garden or whatever the hell they called it was.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, I remember.
Why did you decide to be Sir Ottersworth for our podcast?
Yes, well, one thing is that I feel that I don't look good as myself on webcam, especially today. So it's been a lot of late nights, so I've got a lot of bags under my eyes. But also to showcase Sir Ottersworth to a broader audience. So Sir Ottersworth, he is actually, I was actually saying before we started the podcast, is that I've actually gotten a name for myself. Not only do I do customizations of otters, so I can take the normal otter base model and I can do different colors, I can add different accessories to it. And I've done about 40 of those already since I started in January. And it's all self-taught and I'm still learning as I'm busy progressing. So what I'm doing here with Sir Ottersworth, this is the first time I've actually taken one of those models and loaded it into the program called VC Face, which actually is mapping my face currently as we speak with the webcam. I can see all the points of my eyes, or my mouth. And that's why when I talk, the mouth of my otter is actually moving as well. But also, yeah. And it's also for the comic relief, because you look at Sir Ottersworth, you don't know if he's looking directly at you or if he's looking at something beside you. I'm pretty sure Sir Ottersworth is the only person that you can put in a corner and he can look at both walls at a time.
Yeah. Well, that and most herbivore animals, since they can only see those two directions.
Yeah,
I feel like. Do you know why that is?
Chameleon.
Huh?
I feel like a chameleon.
Yeah, you can do the whole chameleon thing there. Yeah. But do you know why herbivores have their eyes facing that way instead of that way?
So they can see everything else around them?
Yeah. Do you know why they...
Predators.
The predators. You know why that one video was quite funny where the deer ran into the tree? Because they can't see in front of them. So the tree's too small, it'll nail the tree.
I can actually see that happening. I'm pretty sure with my eyesight currently as it is, I can run into a tree as well.
Yeah, it's an easy deal for a lion, to be honest. But yeah, it's stupid things that you learn. I mean, that's like useless information that I actually picked up. Because as omnivores, we actually are hunters as well, so our eyes are facing forward, so that we can hunt things a lot easier, and we can see things a lot easier than they can. It's kind of interesting. Stupid facts that I know.
No, it's not stupid. It's like awesome, like in a random situation. Like when you're in a first-person shooter or in a game, you just like randomly pop that fact, and everyone's like, why would you pop that fact? You're like, why not?
Yeah. No, that's me in online games. I'm not normally in those kinds of games, but you know that I'm normally by myself. That's why I play War Thunder by myself. I'm such a boring person. I don't play Battlefield multiplayer, obviously. Well, I mean, I have, but tell us a little. You play games, obviously. You're not just a cosplayer. So tell us some of the games that you play.
I was just gonna ask that question.
I beat her to it.
So I'm gonna give that question to Kez. Kez is meant to be talking. So.
What is your favorite games, and what are the games that you are currently playing?
What's my favorite game? So I've been playing a lot of first-person shooters. I've gotten back into Call of Duty Warzone with a few friends, and yeah, we just sit there and we just, for what we say, we terrorize the other players because we don't play to win. We just play to just have fun, really. I started playing Call of Duty Cold War Black Ops last night. I played the multiplayer last night, and it just had a flash of memory because I used to play Call of Duty competitively when I was still in high school. That's where the first Modern Warfare was first released, and it just brought back memories. And of course, I said, I'm like, okay, guys, you're gonna carry the team. Like, you need to carry me because I haven't played this in a while. And we jump into the game, and there I get player of the game, like multiple times. I just start shooting everyone. Then I actually got called a shotgun noob because I was running around with a shotgun. So, you know, the lovely times with Call of Duty. But yeah, then there's definitely some VR games. So, play Pavlov, which is a tactical first-person VR game. A lot of VR chat for just the social aspects, but in VR chat itself, there are a lot of games and stuff. So there's horror games. There's even Among Us in VR chat. There is Valheim in VR chat. Someone's actually recreated that in VR, so you can do all of that in VR. Then I would say I'm slowly getting back into Escape from Tarkov. So a very, very, I would say, difficult but fun game. So I don't know how much you know about Escape from Tarkov.
I've heard rumblings.
I don't know anything about it.
It looks like an interesting game, but it looks fucking hard. It looks like one of those games where it's like a survival-esque kind of PUBG kind of game. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, so I wouldn't really go as far as PUBG because there's no battle royale, but it's basically a PvE PvP game. So you play against AI as well as other players.
Jeez,
and if you go in, so just say I go into matches, I collect things, I escape from the match, and I sell the things, I get money, I get rubles or rupees, and just say I go in there with my main character, which is either a USAC, which is a US military person, or a bear, which is a Russian military person, of course, and they each have different sayings as you shoot them at. But if I go into a game with about 3 million rubles of stuff on me, so that's guns, armor, helmet, medkit, everything, and I get killed, they can take that and I lose that.
That sucks.
There's actually been a few times where I jump into a game and I've only got a pistol because I can't afford to get anything else. I jump into a pistol, and as I'm busy running through the thing, it's eerily quiet. You can hear footsteps in the distance. You can hear rustling of bushes. You hear like a faint sound of the Russian AI guys. And you hear grenades and everything go off in the distance. So it's a very audio stimulating game. And I was busy running around, and of course I'm being sneaky. I've only got a pistol, and the AI's got a range of sniper rifles to AKMs or AK-47s, AK-101s, and I'm busy running, and I am busy heading towards my extraction point, and I come across a dead body. It is of a player, and he is geared to the heavens. So of course he thought that, oh no one's gonna, he died in a very well hidden spot, so he will get his stuff back from insurance. Little did he know that I went and I found this body and I just equipped everything.
Sneaky.
Yeah, sneaky, exactly.
Chances that you take.
Well, that's the thing, like, also in that game, it's so detailed that you have different types of ammunition for your different guns. So some ammunition, which they call the cheap, it won't do your armor piercing. It won't do that much damage. But then you get ammo that does armor piercing, but not much body damage. Or then you get the one that does a lot of body damage and not armor damage. So you have to really cater for both of those.
Yay, we have a cat-on-cat cam. I wish you could see it.
Well, you got an otter on camera as well, so.
Yes, we've got an otter on camera now. Now we've got a cat-on-cat cam who's staring at me quite
Are you sure it's not
Well-
staring at me?
Ziff Diffie is staring at Ziff Diffie.
Yes, funny enough, Ziff Diffie is staring at Ziff Diffie. Because Ziff Diffie is the namesake that is Ziff Diffie.
And now it's like he's looking at the camera, but he's actually looking at the window outside.
Yes. Oh, how's so cute. So yes, no, it sounds like an epic game, dude. It sounds quite
I don't
awesome.
think I would play it though, because you work really hard to get all your stuff and then someone can just take it. No, I don't think I would play it.
But that's the whole point of the game, is that struggle you want to survive, and there's different maps. And what drew me to the game, yes, the game is very pricey now, and yes, it is still in a development or a alpha or beta stage. It's beta currently. Sorry, it's beta. And the sound stage, I saw a video where a guy, it was raining, and I kid you not, when it rains, it makes so much noise that you can't actually hear like a bush rustle next to you, because the rain is now making the bush rustle.
Yeah.
As soon as you transverse through a doorway, you hear the rain now, of course, deafened, but because you're inside the building. But now it's muffling everything else.
Yeah.
So now you have to keep an ear out for even the slightest other sound. Like you can walk on a roof where there's broken glass, and you actually hear the glass crack underneath your feet.
Yeah. That's madness. It's quite epic.
So that's actually one of the games I used to stream. Was actually Escape from Tarkov, and I had quite a few people because it was that intense game. So whether you can have a party of, I think it's 4 people, all go in, but it's all about communication. There's no way for me to actually tell that yes, you are on my team. There's no name tags or anything. So
You can
yes,
end
it's
up shooting your own people.
yeah, that's happened a few times. Even I've been shot a few times by my own teammates. So yeah.
No, it's very funny. I was watching a video the other day, and they were talking about how video games don't actually represent how guns actually work and things like that. And I'm sitting there going, there is one, and they're like, yeah, they got to make a video game where it actually does that. And I'm like, there is one that actually does that. It's armor. Holy crap! Have you ever tried to handle the gun in armor? It is so hard. You can't just like do what you do in Call of Duty. Be like, aim, pull down, aim, pull down, aim, pull down. It doesn't work like that. If you shoot, you go way off. If you hold in your, that's why automatic rifles are not the best, and why you use burst fire or single shots, because you don't want to have your gun just go off, because it takes a while to get your hand back to where it is. So I wanted to just say in the comments of the video, there's a game called Armor that does that.
Well, there's armor, but Tarkov does the exact same thing.
Yeah, and
So
I believe
you
Tarkov is exactly the same.
Yeah, and even in Pavlov, I kid you not, if you do not have both hands, so if I've got a machine gun with one hand, right, and I start shooting it, the gun goes up. It starts saying, "Ooh, what's that on the roof?" type of thing. I've had a time where I had a shotgun and I forgot to hold it with both my hands, and I shot, and the shotgun flew out my hand. So there I am in the middle of the game without a weapon, and I'm like busy looking around, all like scared. I'm like, where's my gun? Where's my gun? To find it behind me, running and picking it up, then cocking it, and then
So do you play anything else other than first-person shooter games?
Yes, I used to play. Well, I haven't played recently, but I used to play a lot of World of Warcraft, of course. The Shadowlands, not classic, because I was there for the original classic. So I've been through everything in World of Warcraft from the start up until now. I know my older brother is currently playing classic, and he's excited for the Burning Crusade. He's like, yo, you need to jump on. You need to come to the opening of the Black Portal. And I just said, I was there when that first opened. So, no thanks. Then, I play a little bit of Monster Hunter here and there. I play some SWTOR, Star Wars of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
I play some of that now and then. Actually, what other games do I? Just looking, of course, Destiny. I do a lot of the rhythmic games on VR. So that's your Beat Saber, your Pistol Whip, Ragnarok, which is actually a pretty fun game. And I kid you not,
Yeah.
people think that you do this in VR, you don't work up a sweat. Oh, you do.
You do?
I remember my friend challenged me out of the blue. He's like, no, I challenge you to a game of Ragnarok. We're gonna do this song at this level, which is level 7, which is about midway up the chain. And I'm like, okay, it's gonna be my first level 7. And we start doing it. And of course, because I've played it before, I'm busy dancing, going with those songs, and busy hitting the different notes. And when the song finishes, you just hear my friend out of breath. So it really does.
Is Ragnarok different to Beat Saber?
Yeah, so Ragnarok puts you into a sort of like a Viking age, and you in one of the long ships. And basically you are hitting their drums on the long ship, which actually tells the guys to row forward.
Nice. That is cool.
That sounds quite interesting. I think Ziff will actually enjoy that.
Yeah, except
actually-
that you don't get that on PS4.
No, unfortunately not yet. They are what they I remember they said that they wanted to bring it to the PSVR.
Yeah, I've got Beat Saber. I can't. We're limited on what we can do with the VR.
Yeah.
I can't play anything, so
Yeah.
at least you guys can play VR games.
Yeah, no, Kez gets like super nauseous. So
Ooh.
she can't even play Beat Saber. I mean, how bad is that? In Beat Saber, you stand still.
Yeah.
No, it's fine, but like when you have to duck in Beat Saber to avoid the things, I can't do that. I have to stand and then basically fail because you have to move out of the way of the things, and I can't do that because if I do, I'm gonna puke.
Yeah.
Okay, so you suffer from extreme motion sickness.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's
No,
very
I-
unlucky.
No, I've had a few people, like every person that gets a VR headset now, like when it comes to the Quest 2, I am the go-to person because I did a lot of research before I even got mine. I did it for about like a month or 2 months. What third-party cables I can use, because the original cable is like $80 just for the cable, and I got a cable that does the exact same thing for $15. So I did all that research, and I tell them, like, guys, when you get it, start off slow. Start off, do your Beat Saber, do your boombox, which is very similar to Beat Saber, do your Pistol Whip or Ragnarok where you're standing still. If you want to move into a thing where you start moving around, you do it in very small stages.
Yeah.
Do it for 5-10 minutes. You need to get what we call VR legs.
Yeah, don't do what I do. Play like.
Yeah.
No,
play
he just
Man's
like
Sky.
jumped right in.
I got nauseous for a few minutes, and then like I took the VR off, and I walked around a bit, and then I went back to it, and I was fine. So. But you can't stand with a No Man's Sky. Shit, you will fall over so quickly.
Well, I've
And-
done Population 1, which is a battle royale in first person where you are literally flying all over the place.
Oh yeah.
And even there, like, I remember when I jumped off the first building, like, I just had that feeling in the pit of my stomach sort of thing, and I'm like, whoa. Then I got over it. But every now I jump off a building, I get that very sharp or weird feeling in the pit of my stomach, but then it just goes away.
Sorry, I've got a cat who's decided that she wants to push my microphone all over the place.
I
She
just see
wants
this
to be
cat.
on screen too. Well,
Yeah,
the tail.
This
I saw the
cat is-
tail.
Yeah, this cat is the one who, if you ever watched our older streams and I was playing Ark and things like that, she would be the one who'd jump on my lap. and now she's well, as you can see, moving my microphone. So if you're hearing like dung, it's because she's knocking her head on it. She's marking the microphone.
She's loving her dad.
This is
Yeah.
my microphone.
Yeah, the problem is she loves me too much and she doesn't stop.
It's
Well,
very
look-
funny.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
because when he's working, she sits at the bottom of it, next to his chair, and she like looks and she waits as if to say, "Can I jump up and give you love? Can I sit on your lap? Can I bug you?" And then he puts her down, and she does the exact 2 seconds later, she jumps back up again.
But the thing is, my desk hasn't got enough space for, well, at least I don't have enough space to have her on my lap and work, because I've got a separate mouse and keyboard for my laptop, so for my work laptop. So if she climbs on, she'll rub her head on the keyboard, and she'll press buttons. And if you do that, there's a chance that they might shut off someone's power, or I might, because I'm working in the metering department for an energy company. I don't want to make a mistake and then suddenly screw up someone's account.
Oh, my cat pressed the button.
Yeah.
Lamest excuse ever.
My cat jumped on my keyboard, just like pushed a button, and that's why you have no gas.
That's almost as bad as a dog ate my homework.
Yeah, exactly.
The cat pushed the button.
Yeah, so I have to always pick her up and put her on the ground. Now it's fine. Now I've got her. I'm giving her lots of attention. I've moved my keyboard away so that she can't push any buttons. and it's my PC keyboard, so it's fine. But if it was my work PC, she'd be on the floor right now because I wouldn't be able to hold her on my lap. Yeah, it's the joys of work. Oh, shit.
Something else I've noticed about you, you're quite a big hit and a big deal in the streaming community, where you jump into lots of people's chats and they go, it's Moombas, and like almost every South African streamer that I've seen, when I go in, you're there, and you've kind of made a name for yourself, I think.
I think the name that I've made, so I'm a mod on I think about 15 different channels, so it's kind of hard when they all go live at the same time. But I think the reason why I'm a big name is that I pop into the stream and I start posting the positivity. I send out the message saying, hey, wanted to pop in, make you smile, make your day better by reminding you that you're awesome and amazing. It's something very small like that.
Yeah.
And that can really change a person's day around. So that's what I do, and I know a lot of people are slowly starting to know me through my avatar, so the vrchat streams that I do jump on. I've even got a few international streamers that know my Sir Ottersworth by name because of the shenanigans I get up to.
What shenanigans do you get up to?
I remember the one guy was busy talking to his chat, and I stayed out of his vision, and I basically took all the pillows in the entire world that we're in, and I sort of built a half igloo around him. So one moment he's on the rooftop under the sky, the next minute he's just surrounded by pillows. And then there I just stick my face through the pillow, and you just see my face, the dope eyes, moustache, everything.
I can actually picture you doing that.
Yeah, so can I.
And also, I can't do it with VC Face. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the ability yet. But in vrchat, and this is what a lot of people's chat has actually started to, I would say, interact with my character, is that I've got a toggle for my moustache so that when someone boops the snoot of my otter, the moustache grows about, I would say, about 10 times its size. So basically my head disappears and becomes like a giant moustache. And I couldn't do it with this because I did try it before and the moustache didn't work 100%. But in vrchat, the moustache is is on the last bone of the nose. So the bone or dynamic bone is what actually gives the character life. So as you can see, as I move around, my ears start flopping around. Those are all dynamic bones, busy adding that whole realistic feel or look to it. And with the moustache being in the last bone, as soon as I start running, my moustache sort of lags behind. So my moustache sort of phases through my face. You just see a moustache chasing after me. type of thing.
It's a haunted moustache.
But it's for that comedic relief, because during this whole pandemic and that, I want to get out there. I want to make people laugh. And then that's how Sir Ottersworth basically came to be. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people are probably wondering why the eyes are like that.
Yes.
So you remember that whole audio clip that the private eye Fanamava?
Ah, yes.
So basically, I took that whole thing where she's like, her eyes were so beautiful that one eye could not stop looking at the other. So basically, the squint looking inwards.
Yeah.
What I sort of thought, I'm like, well, my eyes definitely hate each other. So basically, been shunned to the opposite end of the eye sockets. And in VRChat, I've enabled a feature called eye tracking, even though my VR headset doesn't support it. So my eyes just do its own random thing as well. My eyes have a life of its own, which again adds to its character.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, like the pupil would actually go beyond the socket, so you just see like a white ball in the eye socket, and basically I need to run around in a circle for the eye to actually appear back again.
To catch your eye.
Yeah, exactly.
That wily eye.
And I've actually had a few, like I've got other avatars, like a lot of your meme avatars, like I've got another one for Keanu Reeves, who of course jumps in and he does the finger gesture, he points and he's like, "You're breathtaking." And I kid you not, I've had times where it's a back and forth, "You're breathtaking" for like 5-10 minutes, back and forth. And then there's a hidden feature in the Keanu Reeves where his head basically blows up and his hands grow extremely large and it goes a bit distorted and he basically shouts, "You're breathtaking." And the amount of people that I've actually gotten or given a fright because of that is countless.
There's like a whole new world. I've never even, half of the stuff like the VR chats and things I've never even heard of.
Yeah. I have seen on Twitch though that there are quite a few streamers out there now that are doing the VR characters instead of themselves. So they'll play a game and they'll have the VR character instead of having themselves, which I think is pretty cool because you basically hide yourself from ridicule from people because they can't judge you or anything. You're a VR character, but it's different. It gives something special to the streams and the creations and all of that. I think it's something we might look at some point.
Maybe, yeah. Might just. Who could hide this pretty face though?
Oh, who wants to hide Sir Ottersworth's pretty face? I can even go super in. Really? Like
who
really?
Wants to hide this face?
Yeah, who wants to hide this face? And I see. I can even blush. It's like no one wants to do that.
So does Sir Ottersworth have an accent that goes with him?
Well, not really an accent, but it does change from time to time. So it also adds to his confused character. So of course, a lot of his sounds is from the one-e cartoon of Harry Potter. You know that whole Leviosa cartoon. So basically when this character jumps into the world, it's basically that Harry Potter theme that and everyone's like, "Oh, Moombas here." So and when my moustache grows, you just hear him go, "Oh," and his moustache grows.
And then his moustache grows.
Yeah, then his moustache just like grows to huge sizes. I've even catered to one of the demands of Cyanide's chat and made a mini Sir Ottersworth. And I kid you not, this guy is the size of, I'd say about 10 centimeters tall. So he's very tiny. And yes, his moustache does grow, so it's literally a giant moustache running around when he's suffering. Then there's another one where I activate it, and the top hat, he basically hides inside the top hat. And I can basically drive around as if the top hat is a car or something like that.
Nice. Nice.
So what is VR chat exactly? I've seen a few things about it, but I don't really know what it is. When I heard the name, it sounded like that. Man, what was it called? IMVU type of thing, but I'm not sure if it is. So tell us what it is, because as old fogies, we don't know what VR chat is.
So VR chat is, as I said, they've got countless worlds. I think they've got easily over 1,000 different worlds that cater for whatever people want. It is a social space. You can go there, you can meet all these amazing people. There is what we like to call the dark side of VR chat, for the not safe for work side of VR chat, let's put it that way. And no, I do not partake in that. So Ottersworth is a humble.
He says, I don't partake in that.
No, I don't.
No, he just has a growing moustache.
Yeah, his moustache just grows.
Oh, yeah, well, the blood needs to rush somewhere, right? No, so as I say, it's all about social. Like, we get together. As I said, there's mini games. They've now added putt-putt, so you can even do putt-putt with your characters. It is an amazing place, especially now with this pandemic. Why it grew up so much is that you could still hang out with your friends.
Yeah.
There's even, I kid you not, cinemas in VR chat where you can sit and watch a movie.
Jeez.
It's really what you want to be, basically, but we use it mainly for the whole social aspect of it. Like, we get a whole group of us together, we just chill. Of course, now with the whole Twitch hot tub category, what we're busy doing on Sinai. Well, we've been, Sire, when he does his stream, we jumped to a world that had a outdoor hot tub. And we basically, in our avatars, we're busy sitting there. Now imagine you've got like a normal looking otter, then you've got me, a derp looking otter. And he's busy saying, he's like, okay, yeah guys, this is, welcome to our hot tub. And I'm like, no, Sire, it's not a hot tub, it is a ot tub. And he's like, yep, that's what we're calling it from now. So, hence why the hot tub has been created.
Nice. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I was busy looking to see what VR chat was on.
Do you need a headset to use it, or?
You can actually do VR chat without a headset, so you don't actually need VR for it. You can do it desktop mode, but of course you're limited to what you can do. Your arms don't move, which is, again, it removes from the immersion of it. But if you want to get into VR chat and start making friends, meeting people, definitely go desktop mode. When you're ready, then you get into VR. But as we were saying before, with the motion sickness, be very, very careful. Take it one step at a time, because VR chat, you have a lot of things moving around you. You have a lot of people moving around you. You yourself is moving around. You can jump, you can crouch, you can do all of that.
Yeah. That's the whole thing. You got to be very careful with those kinds of games. It's like I'm still like toying with the idea of playing Farpoint on my PSVR, because I do want to play Farpoint, but it's you know it's difficult when you're playing that kind of game, because you got to remember that you can't really move forward or backwards. All you can do is stand and jump.
Unless you get one of those rigs where you tie yourself up and you can actually physically run on.
Yeah, I want one of those.
Yeah, those are so expensive.
I know.
Those are very expensive, yeah.
$5,000 or something ridiculous like that.
I don't know, dude. That's not even for the full kit. That's the
it
base model. That you don't even get everything with it. That's the scary thing. So of course with VR chat, as I said, so depending on your headset, some headsets you need what they call lighthouses or base stations. external sensors that point into a location and picks up your headset and your controller. Then there's a Quest, which doesn't need that. All the sensors are in the actual headset itself. But what a lot of people are getting into, and I kid you not, currently it is very expensive, and that is full body tracking. So you have different sensors that you put on your ankles, you put on your thighs, your chest, your hips, even on your shoulders and your upper arm, your biceps, and that basically gives more life to your character.
Yeah.
You can do so much thing. You can lift your leg, you can dance with your character, or as your character. But of course now the HSC pucks, or those little sensors, those are about 2,500 rand each. And you need a minimum of 3 to actually get a decent-ish full body tracking. Then there's still the base stations that you need to buy, which is about 3,000 rand each as well. So as a Quest user for myself, I would have to go buy those external things just for me to start with full body tracking. So there are your other ones. So there's the one that uses Connect. So I've got a Connect sensor. It picks up my skeleton, but it's not 100% because unfortunately the Connect FPS is not the greatest. So it clips. Sometimes it doesn't even pick up the one leg. So I would basically be a otter with 2 legs to an otter where one leg is now merging with the other leg type of thing. And I become like a flamingo type of thing. But I've only got one leg.
Otter.
So yeah, and VR is just growing as we speak. There's so many people that are now trying to make a cheaper way to do full body tracking. By creating little gyro sensors with a LiPo battery and all that stuff. And of course those are all still in testing phase, so it's not going to work 100% until they've ironed out everything. So I myself am keeping an eye on everything, because again, with the full body tracking, it just adds that extra bit of immersion, that interactivity with your chat. There's even, so I wish I could show you, I wish I had the leap motion so I could show you my hands, but my otter actually has different color beans on his hands and his feet. So
Nice.
let me just see. Ooh, you see that? So there you can now see underneath my feet where
Little blue beans.
yeah, the little blue beans. And it just adds that interaction. Like there's been a lot of streamers that I've been in where they have their avatar in VRChat, and you see people show me your beans, and of course they've got full body tracking, so they lie down and they just basically just show the underside of their feet. That's it.
That's pretty
Me
cool.
myself, I can just show a moustache that grows, but not really on PC face. But yeah, I try.
That's pretty epic.
Well, it is definitely the way of the future, so
It is, yeah.
I might need to start learning how to get into VR, because it seems as though everything is going that way, from games to general interaction to everything. So the motion sickness needs to go away so that I can do these things, because I'm sure Ziff wants to play VR games.
Oh, I can play
Well,
VR games.
No, I know you can, but like, if there's something we can play together or something.
We need 2 VRs.
I know. I'm just thinking in the future, okay?
I agree.
I'm future thinking.
I agree. Now I'm looking at getting one of these cat VR treadmills that they've got.
Those are just so expensive. Like I would love to have those sensors in that.
No, when the price drops, I'm buying one. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Well,
You
it
know
needs to
that they're
drop
going to.
easily 75% for me, because remember our import tax is crazy here in South Africa.
Exactly.
You're kind of screwed
yeah.
there.
Yeah,
It's
my friend,
$1,500.
so Cyanide actually, when he got his full body tracking, so someone in the States had to order everything. So that includes the Valve Index with the finger tracking controllers, the HSC pucks, the base stations, everything. That all got shipped to someone in the US. And by the time it came to South Africa, that's already about $2,500, right? That's for everything. Then the import tax, he ended up paying on top of the import tax with the shipping. I think the total came to like $5,500-6,000 just on
That's too much.
just everything together.
No, that's way too much. I mean, look, for us it won't cost that much. If
Yeah,
we had to
for
get
you
one of
it
them
won't,
here,
yeah.
it'll cost us the $1,500 they're asking. Their asking price is $1,500. There won't be, if there is an import tax, it'll probably be like 25, maybe £30.
Yeah.
So for us, it's not an excessive amount. I mean, we can probably afford to buy one of these within the next. If we had to save up now, within the next few months, we could get at least one catwalk. But it's to get, the thing is, we would need to get two because Kez is obviously also going to want to be on it because she needs to. Firstly, she needs to get over the motion sickness, but we also, I mean, I'd like to actually start working out, and I know that those things will give me such a workout, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something that's going to get me a good workout, and then next time we want to do, for example, the 100k walk for the Scottish SPCA, which we kind of epically failed at this year, but well, it's only because we
got our
cats
cats,
alive
and then I
at
got
the wrong
horribly sick
Yeah.
as well. Like I've been out of action since last week Friday, and
Yeah.
I'm still not 100% better. So
Yeah.
when you feel as crap as I have been, the last thing on your mind is, oh, let's go walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. And Sir Ottersworth sends his tea of healing to you, Kez.
So yeah, that would be something epic though. I mean, imagine if we had to do another 100k walk and we're actually playing games.
Yeah, that's it.
But we're tracking our feet. You know, we're
Yeah,
tracking
well,
our
that's the
movement.
thing. There are these virtual events that are coming up. So, of course, a lot of these gaming events, so like E3, and that's all going to become virtual, and they've actually got a separate virtual or VR space that you can put on your VR headset, and you're at the event. You've got the different stalls,
Yeah.
type of thing. Comic-Con Africa is thinking of doing a VR thing. We actually had a chat, I think it was on Thursday evening. Comic-Con Africa called a few of the local streamers on, and I was, of course, watching. So I'm not that, I need to get back into streaming for me to get invited to that. And when Sai was busy explaining his VR avatar, his setup and everything, I just pop in and I just throw the names of the right things, and Sai freaks is like, Moomba, there you are. Why are you hiding? I'm like, I'm not hiding. I'm just sitting here. And he's like, oh, okay, well, get your butt into VR chat. And I jumped in there and I showed them basically all the different avatars. And it's basically they want to move into the VR. And not a lot of people know, but there is a esport for VR. That is your Population 1, your Pavlov, your Onward, which people have these rifle stocks that they connect their headset or their controllers to, that basically just creates an extra bit of immersion, that realism to the game. I kid you not, there's been times in Pavlov where if it's a bolt action rifle, I have to actually pull the bolt up, back, forward, and down again for me to know the next. Yeah,
that's like Skyrim, you know. I mean, at the moment, that's my only go-to. I'm thinking of actually putting Farpoint on my PlayStation now and playing it a little bit later. But you know, it's the immersion that VR has actually started giving to us. Things like I play Skyrim VR. I really enjoy that game quite a lot. So the things you can do in that game, you can when you use your bow and arrow, you actually have to draw the arrow back. You have to literally do that and release. Otherwise, you're not going to shoot an arrow. Fighting with swords, you actually have to swing your arms. You can swing in particular directions and things like that. You can block attacks with the swords as well. It's freaking epic. And that's just one game. I mean, I've got things like Eve Valkyrie as well, which is you play with tiny little ships and you fly around and fight and all that stuff.
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. Oh, yeah, that game. VR, that game. It is
so I did the only VR flight game I've done was Star Wars Squadrons in VR. That was
I haven't
that blew
played
my
that.
mind. That really blew my mind because you're either in an X-wing or a TIE fighter. You've got the sounds. You're looking around your cockpit. You've got all the dials and everything, and you've got. Of course, you can use your controllers or your keyboard or a Xbox controller on the PC, or you
Yeah.
can actually get the joysticks, the Hotus joysticks, which are unfortunately very expensive here. But I borrowed a friend's one, and I did it, and it just added that extra bit of immersion to it because you've got the throttle up, throttle down, you've got your joystick to pitch or yearn, or you've got all of these different things, which just adds to that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the whole thing, though, isn't it? I mean, I'm looking at these silly guns that you have to get for the VR. I mean, you don't have to have them because you can always just use your two lights, what are they called? Those your hand things. You can always just use those two if you want to, and make it more of that kind of immersion. It's just different, and it makes it feel weird. It's not the same if you play games like Point and things like that. But you know what? The whole thing is the tracking is getting so different these days. I've heard talk of now Sony is readjusting everything now. They've changed what they're going to be doing with their new VR. The tracking is going to be better. It's not going to be using the light anymore, apparently. They'll be using a proper camera so that if you're in a bright room, it doesn't suddenly just stop working, which is my biggest annoyance right now because our lounge is very bright. And if I'm playing VR, the camera picks up like barely, picks up the balls moving, so that irritates the crap out of me. So I get very annoyed very quickly with that. But apparently they've picked up this whole new thing where they're going to actually start using finger tracking as well, where you actually have to put, I think you put gloves or whatnot on, and you can actually, each one, it picks up each finger as you move it, and things like that. It's amazing what they're planning on doing with all of this stuff. It's going to make gaming, completely
Very
different.
No, definitely. It's like there's even like vests and stuff that you put in your feet, your hands, your arms for haptic feedback in VR. So if you get shot, you're going to basically feel that vest. But of course, those are very expensive. There's even the haptic gloves that people are doing, as you're busy saying. So with the Valve Index, the reason why it's so expensive is that because it's got the controllers have finger sensors. So that actually lets you move individual fingers on the controller itself. The Quest 2 has something that they introduced called hand tracking. So I can put down the controllers and the Quest will map out my hands, and basically that's how I control it, everything with my hands. And I can move my individual fingers and everything as well. So as you said, the VR is just blowing up with all these different new technologies that are coming out. Soon we're going to find ourselves in the Sword Art Online type of deal.
Exactly. And, the one thing that I've looked at is if you look at, for example, the haptic feedback thing. The way Sony has integrated that into their controllers already, and this is just a standard controller for the PS5. They're obviously going to start. They're going to carry on using the haptic feedback for the rest of the VR systems as well, which means you're going to do things that are going to actually cause you to strain your muscles when you're doing things. For example, when you pull the trigger on a gun, you're going to feel it. You're going to actually feel the trigger. You don't have to pull the trigger. You just have to squeeze it. You'll actually just squeeze it and it goes off. You squeeze it and it goes off. Where if you pull a bow and arrow, you actually feel the tension of the bow as you're holding the string. Things like that, it's stuff that you won't really get unless you actually have the immersion. But the technology is unfucking believable. I cannot believe how quickly technology has actually changed in that aspect. It's actually made gaming in just this whole new world. And that's what I like about being a gamer. Is that our world is just getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, well, our world's forever changing. Like, I've got my site, so I am on a wish list for another headset called the Deca Gear. So of course, when this was announced last year, and the features, and I can see where the skepticism came from. the features were the top tier features. So it had everything from your index, you had your stuff on the Vive, had all of that into one headset at half the price.
You can see why people would be
and-
skeptical, yeah.
Oh, of course, yeah. So I did register to go on the wish list. I put down a deposit of a whole of $10, which was reasonable, just to keep my place. And with this headset, it basically is going to have two sets of cameras. It's got a camera inside of the actual headset, so it can actually monitor my eyebrows and my eyes.
Yeah.
Then it's got a camera just underneath monitoring my nose and my mouth.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome.
And the controllers have touch sensitivity as well. It's got all of these things, and everyone's like, "Oh no, it's all a scam! It's a scam." And then Deca Move, or the company, released something called a Deca Move. So it's literally a small little device that you just put on your waist, and that just changes how the locomotion in the game is. So normally, a lot of the games, you would either be going straight where I'm looking. So if I turn my head a little to the left, I would basically be moving in that direction where my head is, even though my waist is still pointing forward. Or it would be with my hands. So if my hands are pointing to the left, I'll go left. So what this little device does, it actually recalibrates, and you will move based on where your hip is. So it adds that more realistic locomotion to the VR.
And I see, I'm looking at it here, the hip-based navigation.
Yeah. Like they did release that you can buy the Deca Move separate. So basically you pay the $50 for the Deca Move now. They send it to you, and that price comes off of the full Deca gear, because the Deca gear set will come with the headset, the controllers, as well as the Deca Move itself.
Yeah.
So it just basically gets offset. Like, I wanted to do that, but that means I would have to pay import twice for that little device, and then as well for the Deca gear. So that's why I'm like, you know what? Let me just do everything at once. Everyone else is doing it.
That makes sense.
The company's even released an app on the phone where you can use your phone as a little puck. So it's not going to be 100% as accurate, but you still have those features on your phone, because your phone's got a gyrometer in it.
Yeah.
So, it's really, we are very, like, we still in the early stages of VR currently. That's what I believe.
We are. It's going to take a while to get to where we want to, where I mean, I can't stand the movie, but the Ready Player One has a point. I mean, eventually it's going to be like that. But I don't like the movie. I think it's a very silly movie. It was not my favorite movie. I think Kez actually agrees with me on that one. Neither of us liked it.
I didn't mind it.
I actually forgot half of the movie.
Oh wow! So I guess you aren't Ready Player One then. Okay.
No, I'm not. The thing is, we watched the movie, and it was like, I think it was the day afterwards, I forgot what the whole movie was about. It took actually watching a trailer to remember what the hell the movie was about. If a movie is that bad that I actually forget what the movie was the day afterwards, then clearly it's not for me. And it's not to say that everyone has to hate the movie, because I hate it. I mean, I've always been one of those people, this is my opinion. People who think like me and who are more like me trust that what I'm saying is what I don't like. If you may not like it if you're like me. But that's it. That's all I ever do. And the same thing with this movie. I did not like it. I didn't think it was a good movie. It had some good parts to it. Don't get me wrong. It had some very good parts to it. But not the greatest movie I've ever actually watched. I mean, I've watched... nothing will ever deter me from saying that Lord of the Rings has and always will be the best movie ever made. Best trilogy ever made.
What about Fight Club? That's your best movie.
No, that's just a guy movie. That's just a good movie.
But that's one of your favorite movies.
Fight Club is just a damn good movie.
But it's one of your favorite movies.
It is,
yeah,
but it's not my
kids,
favorite.
remember, rule number 1, we do not talk about Fight Club.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, true.
Rule number 2, we do not talk about Fight Club.
And rule number 3, you listen to rule number 1 and 2.
But yeah, so No, for me, it'll always be the best trilogy ever made. Will be Lord of the Rings, because they actually stuck to the book as much as they could and things like that, which made it, made it good. Ready Player One. I mean, I never read the book, so I couldn't really say if it was anything like the book. But the movie wasn't good. It just wasn't.
For me, the reason why I liked it was all the Easter eggs from the different games and everything that they implemented into the game. So,
like I said,
you had your Battletoads, Halo, everything.
Yeah,
so,
I still love Battletoads. That was brilliant.
I still remember playing those when I was growing up and all that stuff.
I mean, there were really nice Easter eggs in it. Don't get me wrong, there were nice Easter eggs and stuff like that. Those are the parts that I remember the most. It's just silly little Easter eggs that they actually put in. The story, the whole story of the movie. Only now am I remembering what the whole story was about. Was they were trying to take over this dude had given up his throne, and they all had to go and fight to find it, or they had to go and complete puzzles to find the. See, don't really remember it that well. Yeah.
Well, I think I know what you're trying to say. So, he was dying, the creator of the Oasis. And he put an Easter egg, which would give basically the person who found the Easter egg full control over the Oasis, as well as the gaming company behind the Oasis. And of course, to get the Easter egg, you have to complete the different challenges, and the different challenges were different things. They were based in movies, they were based in games, or things that were all based around what that character, the main dude who created the Oasis, his life, basically.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole thing. So it was like watching a fanboy go through a whole bunch of shit. I don't do it. I just don't. I mean, I'm not really a fanboy of much. People are like, oh yeah, but you've got a PlayStation. Yeah, and I've got a PC too. So what? Because I don't know if you've noticed that, but I've never been one of those people that's like, oh, PC Master Race, or oh, PlayStation and Xbox are better. My opinion is it depends on what's affordable. It depends on what the person wants and who can afford to pay for what. Because to be honest, if someone just wants to play games, if someone just wants to play the games that are coming out now, buy the Xbox, buy the PlayStation. Those two they're available for you. They're cheap. With us, we use these PCs for more than just that. We use PCs for our video creation, for me, music creation and things like that. We also play games on them. That's why they've got the intense graphics cards and stuff like that on it, so that they can handle that kind of pressure while we're playing games. Yeah. So for us, it's not about being a particular master race, because I don't believe in that bullshit. I just believe that do what you want. It's what you need at the time. I mean, we're not playing on the most powerful PCs ever. It's not like we're playing on fucking Ryzen 7 with GT 3080s and all that crap. We did not spend that kind of money. I mean, I'm not going to spend that kind of money on a PC. I'm sorry, I'm not that stupid. I've got a PC with both of us have got PCs with Ryzen 3s and GT 1660s on them, GTX 1660s on them, which they do their job. It's good enough to play any of the games that I've got on my PC, and most of the games these days. I don't think there are any games that we can't play on our PCs at the moment. It's obviously due to the RAM as well, because we've got 16 gigs of RAM each. But the whole point is we've got all of this stuff because we needed it at the time, and we still need it. I still play games on my PC because half the time Kez is watching movies on the PlayStation, so I can't really play on my PlayStation, so I just play on my PC.
Yeah.
That's why we'll get another TV so that you can play games and I can still watch things.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the whole thing. When someone tries to actually put that on us and say that we're we're fanboys, or well, in Kes's case, fangirls of PlayStation, for example. I got a PlayStation because I've had a PlayStation since I was a kid. Right, my first console after the Nintendo and the Sega was Sony PlayStation. I've had PlayStation 1, 2, 3, and now 4. But beside being the PlayStation thing, I don't need an Xbox. I've got a PC. I've got Game Pass on my PC. I don't need an Xbox.
No, it's exactly that. It's like, okay, granted, so as you're busy saying the different specs of the PC, I kind of looked at my PC, hence why my auto went very sad. No, because I saved up quite a bit last year, and I got a good bonus, and I also won an award last year
Well
from
done.
work where I got like 15,000 Rand worth of e-bucks.
Yes.
So of course, like,
Nice.
what am I going to do with that? So I ended up selling that for real monies, and I did upgrade my PC. And yes, I do have a Ryzen 7. Yes, I do have a GTX 3080. One of the few people in South Africa to actually get their hands on it because stocks just plummeted. I think it was a week after I got mine. Like, I already sold all my old parts already. So the money I got from my old parts basically came off the money I was going to pay for my upgrades.
Yeah.
And we did a full PC build stream when I went to my friend Krim's house. And I kid you not, it was basically an hour and a half, 2 hours, just putting it together. And then the other 4 to 6 hours was just doing cable maintenance.
Yeah, and it's always fun to do cable maintenance.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
like, I wouldn't say yes, I'm a PC master race. Like, yes, I've owned an Xbox. Yes, I've owned a PS. PS is perfect for like your exclusive games. Like, for example,
Exactly.
God of War. I will borrow my sister's PS4 and I will play God of War there. Like, all the Xbox games are on PC, as what you said, or most of them are. And now there's even games that are meant to be exclusive to Sony that are coming to PC. So
Exactly.
it is
Yeah,
like,
it's-
it's not like I prefer one over another. It's just depending on my feel. Like, currently I've only got a PC and
Convenience.
VR, so
Yeah.
it's going to be PC.
Yeah, exactly. We've currently got the PSVR, which means it's going to be on the PlayStation. So any VR that we do is on the PlayStation. And also, I'd like to see what Sony is doing with the PSVR 2. I do want to see what they do with that. I believe that they're going to be changing, when they change it up, it's going to be something quite epic. So I do want to see what happens there. But again, it's all about convenience. What's convenient at the time. My PS4, lots of games. That's one thing I like about owning a PlayStation. Hard copies.
Yeah.
Hard copies. I can actually own the disc. Cyberpunk 2077. Perfect example of a game that is not on PlayStation anymore, on the PlayStation Network anymore. And we don't know if it's ever going to be back on the PlayStation Network. But the game is being fixed by CD Projekt Red. When the game is fully running and working perfectly, if it's not on the PlayStation Network, I still get to play it. Because I've still got the game.
Yeah, exactly.
There are idiots out there who return the game immediately, and then, or they were like, oh, I want my money back. I want to also keep the game though. It's not how it works. You want your money back, you don't get to keep the game.
Yeah.
It's like if you buy what do we say? You buy a car and then you decide, no, I don't want this car anymore. You can't keep, or you decide, no, I want a refund on my car. You can't keep the car and then have a refund. It's not how it works.
You can't have your cake and eat it.
Exactly. You can't
Well,
have
you
your cake
can,
and eat it.
but
Yeah,
That's not
well,
exactly
I was
how-
about to say, if I order my cake, I'm going to eat it. So
Yeah, it's not exactly the point of it though.
it's not the
Yeah.
greatest expression.
Because that basically means you can't have something in front of you and then eat it and then still have it in front of you. That's essentially what it means when they say you can't have your cake and eat it too. It's I suppose it would work in the same aspect, but again, you know what? If you want a refund, you don't get to keep the game. Me, I don't mind that I spent was it £50 on a game, and look, I know the game was broken, and I was expecting it to be broken when it came out, because when they said all this stuff, I'm like, this game is going to be broken when it comes out. I'm going to try it, but it's going to be broken. It's still broken now, but the whole thing is they're trying to fix it. They will fix it, and eventually when it's fixed, it's going to be perfect. It'll be just like The Witcher. And everyone forgets that The Witcher was broken when it first came out. The Witcher 3 was broken when it first came out. Broken beyond belief. And people forget that that's what happened. And that CD Projekt Red worked to fix the game and gave a whole bunch of free content because they actually gave a broken game. But no one seems to think about that one.
Anyway,
yeah.
what are your future plans?
Yeah.
My future plans, well, I need to continue maintaining my moustache. No, I'm kidding. So my future plans are definitely, as you know, I am looking to immigrate. So unfortunately with this whole COVID thing, it's just put so many unnecessary obstacles in the way. Like I say unnecessary because now there's that whole worry of me getting there, then I'm still in the quarantine for 2 weeks. So I did a calculation. So it would basically just say I get a offer today and I accept it. I will only start at that company 2 months from now. So that's 30 days notice for my current position now. 5 days for me to just get everything sorted here and fly across. And then 2 weeks quarantine period. So it's basically two months before I actually do it, and companies are not happy with waiting, and I don't blame them for that. So now I'm still trying my best there. So I'm still working, waiting for the world to calm down, and then definitely to immigrate to Europe, because I am a European citizen, which I do say time again, it's worth its weight in gold because I can go anywhere in the EU and not actually need a visa, which is perfect.
Unfortunately, we can't. We can go around the UK and take our Schengen visa.
And and also I want to go visit you too. I'll bring my VR headset.
we'll probably get our own. So it's fine. Don't worry about it. And we're probably gonna get some for the PCs as well.
But definitely, it's as soon as the world's calmed down, I do want to actually do a bit of traveling. Like I've got friends that I've made through vrchat and just through other external channels that that just want us to just go there and just go to cons with them, just events. Have you ever been told by a friend in Germany who saw my Captain Zabranigan cosplay that I need to bring him to one of their cons? And I just sat there, I'm like, okay, do you want me there or do you just want the velour man skirt? Because we all know why it's called a man skirt, because it is extremely short. Hence why I have to wear a dancer's belt underneath it. For those who don't know, a dancer's belt is literally dancing tights.
For those of you who are too young to know, Captain Zach Brannigan is from Futurama.
And of course, everyone.
There's actually a picture as well.
I've got so many pictures.
We've got a picture on our podcast.
Oh, lovely.
Of you in Zach Brannigan's suit.
See, now I want to strike the pose, but I can't because this doesn't track my hands. So I can't be Sir Ottersworth, Captain Zach Brannigan. I could probably put on a velour thing on him, but that might be a bit weird. I don't know. But no, definitely. I think I do. I myself have slowly been stepping away from the cosplay scene, just so I can wrap my head. Because yes, it does have a lot of stress on it. Because late nights trying to work on costumes and everything. So I'm doing it slowly, one bit at a time. There's a few people that want to do a cosplay with me. Of course, everyone loves my Zap Brannigan. They want me to wear him as and when. I've got my inflatable T-Rex, my Baymax. I do have a cosplay that I was working on that I might just finish, and it could be a secret cosplay. But both of you remember the movie Spaceballs?
Yeah, I do. I don't know if Kez does. I don't think she ever saw it, but
I briefly saw it. I don't remember it as well as he does.
So I plan on cosplaying Barf.
That's a good idea.
I've actually got I kid you not, the tan overalls for him. And of course, like, everyone's gonna be, who are you? I'm like, I'm Bob. I'm a Mog.
Who's Bob?
What's a Mog? I'm a half man, half dog. I'm my own best friend.
Sir, the radar's jammed. Yes.
Raspberry. Oh, that's the thing. Like, the amount of times I had to explain that to people, like, what is a raspberry? What's the significance? Like, I'm like, you know when you pull a tongue at someone and you basically blow that? That's a raspberry. So it's basically Lone Star going na 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 na.
It's very funny.
Well, that's like, I enjoy those old spoof, like the Naked Gun movies, Aeroplanes, like How Soon Can We Land? I can't tell you. You can tell me. I'm a doctor. It's like those.
I know. It's so stupid. It's like, wasn't that Airplane though? I thought that was Airplane.
Yeah, that is Aeroplane. So even Aeroplane, like, of course, it's like, I've got a drinking problem. Of course, now everyone's like, oh no, he drinks too much. But in the movie, he just can't drink. You just throw the drink over his face. That's his drinking problem.
Yeah, I've got a drinking problem.
Yeah, exactly.
No one understood it. At least no one understands it these days.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's why I chose my cosplays as I did, because again, no one would actually think about doing it. So I'm still the first South African to do a Captain Zap Brannigan cosplay, and I hold the title high. It's the same with my T-Rex. I was one of the first South Africans to actually get the T-Rex suit.
Yeah.
And then that's when I also, when I upgraded it, where I had an external speaker that I did for my Star Wars costumes.
Yeah.
And I plugged in it was basically the Jurassic Park theme song, but then I dubbed in a T-Rex roar over it. So as I was busy playing it and then to do it, then of course, yes, I did have the parody Jurassic Park song, so on the recorder, that very bad,
that really badly done version of it.
yeah, and basically that's just me busy prancing, jumping from left to right. But it's all those things that just I enjoy doing it, because I could say I was the first person to do it. Just like I don't know if I am shy or embarrassed, or I'm honored.
Well, you're blushing.
Yeah, I'm blushing now. So I think I'm a bit of both. But you know, my most popular cosplays that I've done was my VK sweater, Soldier 76, as well as the platinum blonde beardy Quinn, is what people called it. Those two shirts, because again, I was the first male South African to actually do that, and it's just those awesome things. And yes, it was Soldier 76, which is a very popular character, and yes, it's Harley Quinn. But now picture this to everyone listening: a guy that's got a very, very long beard, now dressed in a platinum blonde wig, holding up the Harley Quinn Suicide Squad jacket over the chest, and somehow squeezing my Batukas into a very tight red sequin shorts. Now let that image just sit in.
Oh yeah, baby.
Oh yeah. Oh. But it's that. And I know people love my Zap Brannigan is because how close I can get into that character. It's because the reason why I relate so much to Zap Brannigan, I'd say, is because I'm a derp. I say the wrong things to girls as well. I don't know how to properly talk to them. I get shy. Hence why I can get into the mindset of Captain Zap Brannigan very quickly. It's because of that, because I can relate to him so much. It's just like that whole event that happened at the first expo I actually wore the upgraded Zap Brannigan to, where I am still, I would say I'm the meme of the cosplay community at that event. I don't know if you remember the event. I don't know if you were there. It was the very last. It wasn't Comic Con, King Con, Fan Con. It was one of the adult cons. Let's put it that way.
I don't think so.
I don't think we were at any of those.
Okay. It was. Oh, sorry if you want to beep it out. It was. It was Sexpo.
Oh no.
Yeah.
We're the SA Geeks,
was,
dude, not the SA Porn Geeks.
So I went there with a group of friends because they said, just come and enter, who knows. So of course I went there as Zap Brannigan because who else would you find at an event like that
except Zap Brannigan, yeah.
And as I said, I became the meme of the community just because of what happened there. So of course as Zap Brannigan, we went for our judging and we're coming back to behind the stage to actually do the presentation and all that stuff. And I kid you not, there was a group of mature ladies who did pinch my bottom, which made me jump a bit. Then of course, as you're waiting to go up on stage, I was busy preparing, like mentally getting into Captain Zap Brannigan, the mindset. So I'm like, I'm going to flirt with the presenter, who is, I would say, a adult film star. And then we get told, no, guys, remember, do not touch the presenter. So I'm like, okay. So I'm busy thinking, how can I now try spin this around without actually touching the presenter? So we go up on stage, and there I am still looking, and I'm kidding. I'm on the back of the row on stands. They have us all there, and I'm on the top tier, on the top step. Next thing I know, my hand's getting pulled by one of my friends, and they get pulled right to the front. And I'm busy sitting there. I've got this confused look on my face, like so confused. I don't know what's happening. And I'm looking at the crowd of, I'm guessing, about 300 plus people. Then I hear over the speakers, "Captain, my captain." Very quickly, I stood up very straight. I started assuming the Captain Zap Brannigan stance, and I turned around and I see the presenter. So I go and we're busy chatting. She's like, so as the great Captain Zap Brannigan, how does it feel to fly around space? I'm like, well, as the great Captain Zap Brannigan, there hasn't been a ship that could handle my chutzpah. And I kid you not, she took my hand and it went straight to her chest. And she's like, try these on for size, and I froze. Because we were not meant to touch. And hence why I've become the meme of the community, because of that one instance where I froze.
That's been fun.
But of course everyone's like, how did it feel afterwards? And I describe it, and I'm like, yeah guys, I froze because we were told not to touch. So
it was like
yeah, it was exactly that. Like I froze, and then like as if I was like stuck in stasis type of thing.
But anyway, we've come to the end of the show. We're ending off with
a funny giggle.
Bang!
A funny giggle.
No, we're ending off with a bang.
A frozen bang.
Excuse the pun.
It's a frozen bang.
Guys, just let it go. Just let it go. Okay.
This is not frozen, China. I've got more dignity.
And you're not rusting.
That.
Rusting is the let it go.
Yeah, he's the let it go.
Yeah.
But also, I've got more dignity than frozen. Thanks. I have dignity. Yeah, come take my dignity away from me like that. Anyway, yes, we need you, Mr. Moomba, to plug yourself. Where can everyone find you?
Well, currently, when I start streaming, so I am on twitch.tv/Moombas, so MOOMBAS. That's where I'm going to start streaming again. That is my channel. You can look at my previous VODs that I do have there, of me being very focused in Tarkov, or me trying not to screw up the PC build. And yeah, you can find me on Discord as well. I am in the SA Geeks Discord. If you do want to talk more about the VR chats or VR avatars or VR in general, we have a huge, yeah, all that. And I promise I won't freeze. Just remember, my eyesight is trained on motion, so if you stand still, I won't shoot to you, so it's fine. So I'm like a T-Rex, or with these eyes, of course. But no, definitely, we're always willing to help. Always willing to point people in the right direction, even if it's just for a small answer. Yeah, we're always willing to help.
Well, there you go.
Are you on Instagram or Facebook or anything else?
Actually, not yet. I don't have a Facebook for my VR. On my Instagram, I just have my cosplay page, which I actually have not updated in a while. That is, yeah. So, of course, I did post a thing of what I 3D printed recently, which is a Mortal Kombat, the dragon, which I did spray silver. And my Instagram chat or channel, I would say, is Netas Cosplay. So Netas Cosplay, one word. And you'll see my Darth Nihilus profile picture.
And if you don't know what it is, look at the podcast because it's there.
Yeah, all there.
Oh. Angel, your turn.
Okay, so the audio will be on Anchor, and from there you can listen to it wherever you want, such as Google Podcasts and Spotify, and. The video will be on YouTube, but in general you can find us on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and BitChute. Just look for the pretty purple and white logo. That's all.
So, thank you for watching, listening, and being such great fans and enjoying our podcast today.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us, Moomba. Much
Thank you for
appreciated.
having me, you two. It's been so nice to chat to you both. It's been many moons.
Yes, it has been too long. Way too long.
Way
Far
too long.
too long. But anyway, yes, you guys, thank you so much for watching. It's been wonderful. We've had such a wonderful time. If you guys would like to like the video, please, it helps us quite a bit. If you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button if you really, really like us. Hit the bell notification to be notified when YouTube decides to fix the problem. Otherwise, as always, remember...